Hey YouTubers, this is Crud Big Rig here again, and today we got a very special video. About 2 weeks ago, our wonderful Vice President decided to tell national television that it was a very smart idea to give a 12-gauge shotgun to a woman for personal defense.
So she's asking if a ban goes into effect on certain kinds of weapons and high-capacity magazines.
And what's her name?
Kate.
Kate. If you want to protect yourself, get a double-barrel shotgun, have the shells, a 12-gauge shotgun, and I promise you, as I told my wife, we live in an area that's wooded and somewhat secluded. I said, Jill, if there's ever a problem, just walk out on the balcony here or walk out, put that double-barrel shotgun and fire 2 blasts outside the house. I promise you, who's ever coming in is not going to, you don't need an AR-15. It's harder to aim, it's harder to use, and in fact, you don't need 30 rounds to protect yourself. Buy a shotgun. Buy a shotgun.
We're going to be going through on whether or not the shotgun is better for self-defense than a modern sporting rifle. And we actually have a real live woman. So we have a very special guest with us today. Her tag name is going to be Rainbow Bright. She's going to give us a unique female perspective on self-defense guns. She's your average female, about 5'4", 120 pounds, and we're going to go through both systems and see what we get. There's a 7-yard target we're going to shoot at, which is very practical for self-defense, and we're also going to do a impractical 25-yard shot. And this is to really show you the great differences between a intermediate cartridge and a 12-gauge shotgun. We actually have with us the Benelli 12-gauge. This is actually the smoothest shooting 12-gauge out there, and still it's quite a bit of power, especially for smaller framed individuals. And then we also have with us our modern sporting rifle. This is an AK-74, has the smaller 22 caliber cartridge, has a red dot sight on it for easier weapon manipulation, as well as a extended safety on it. So we're going to take several shots and see where we're at. So we're going to do 2 shots, 1 from each weapon system at the 7-yard line, and then we're going to go to the 25-yard line, where we again take 2 shots, 1 from each weapon system. So go ahead and gas up the gun. Alright. Alright, so we have our very first shot. She did fantastically, like I really expected her. You have 1 shot perfectly in the upper thoracic cavity. Generally speaking, that's probably going to put him down unless he's got body armor on, in which case we always train to shoot until the threat is dead. Doesn't matter if he's running away, that's fine, you know, let him run away, we'll let the cops handle it. However, with this, 1 single shot to the upper thoracic cavity means that he's going to die, you're going to live, and there's very little chance of anyone getting possibly hurt, because besides the bad guy, obviously, because this rifle has an intermediate cartridge. It's actually a very low penetrating round. Once it hits that body, it's most likely going to barely penetrate through the other side, and there's not going to be any innocent bystanders that are hurt. Now we're going to go out to the 25-yard line, take 1 more shot with this rifle system, and then we're going to go to the shotgun. Alright, now we're going to take 1 more shot at the 25-yard line, make a comparison, and then we're going to go on to the 12-gauge. Alright, let's go down range and check it out. Alright, so we got 1 more shot off. It's in the upper shoulder area, which will definitely make an impact, considering the fact that he's right-handed and he's trying to shoot with his right hand. His shoulder blade's going to be disabled. If not, he's going to have a really, really bad day and a very hard time trying to accomplish his objective. Now we're going to go back and do the 12 gauge and see a comparison. Alright, now we got the lightest recoiling 12 gauge on the market. This is the Benelli M4. It uses both an inertia driven system and the buttstock, as well as the self-regulated gas system that Benelli designed. We're going to be shooting just 2 3/4 inch double-aught buck. Now that is one pull of the trigger giving you 9 rounds of 9mm pellets going down range all at the same time. Now Joe Biden wants to ban assault weapons because they're high capacity, and yet he's willing to give you a shotgun shell that's able to have multiple projectiles going down range at the same time with one pull of the trigger. This really seems to be much more of a dangerous weapon system. Alright, go ahead and give us just one round. Alright, now at 7 yards you can see the shotgun doesn't really give you that super spread that the Hollywood movies tell you it's capable of. We have a very short barrel. This is 18.5 inches long. That's only a whopping ½ inch longer than the legal requirement before you have to go into NFA weapons. But it does have a modified choke. Now, in this direct pattern right here, and ignore that wad, you have 9 pellets hitting a target. That means if you were to get a Glock 9mm, you'd have to pull the trigger 9 times to get the same effect on target. Now in close range, it's a fantastic weapon system out to about this range, but as you'll see, as we stretch on out to the 25-yard mark, it gets a little bit dicey. Alright, now we're going to go and take a shot from the 25-yard line and see how we pattern at that range. Alright, so as you see here, we've got a lot larger of a deviation. Now, there's several instructors that say with every bullet comes a possible liability and a lawyer. If she were to shoot at someone outside of her house, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pellets that have the very likely possibility of hitting an innocent bystander downrange. Now to me, it seems a lot more practical to go with a semi-automatic rifle that has lighter recoil as well as a much lighter weapon system. Alright, so this portion of the demonstration, really want to ask Rainbow Bright's opinion on this. You like that name, don't you? You do. What to you seems like more the practical weapon system?
I'd choose the AK over the Benelli any day.
Okay.
It's lighter recoil, it's lighter weight, it's for getting that second shot off if need be. It doesn't bounce the barrel back enough so you can stay online. And
yeah. And again, with the AK, you have a compensator on it to push that barrel down even more. You have a red dot sight, which is capable of getting good shots on target. Even though she did fantastic with the shotgun at range, she placed it right where it needed to be. However, at 25 yards on a human-sized target, it gets pretty dicey. Personally, for me, if I have a loved one at home and they're with other family members, I don't want them having a highly penetrating cartridge like a 12 gauge go through the wall, possibly hit your mother, your kid, your grandmother. I'd rather them have a semi-automatic rifle that might penetrate one sheet of drywall. There's been a lot of examples of over-penetration with shotguns. A lot of people use 7.5 bird shot, but at the same time, that's a huge liability because you're not putting that threat down immediately like you have to. So at the end of the day, even though the weapon systems are quite a bit more expensive on the rifle side, I'd rather give someone like her a semi-automatic rifle than a shotgun any day of the week.